Hello and welcome to episode 73 of Beyond the Finish Line, the podcast for runners of every pace, every distance and every goal. You're joined by Georgia and Coach Matt, and this week we're putting together your ultimate race week survival guide. Whether you're lining up for the Gold Coast Marathon or another race, we're covering everything you need to know in the final week. From tapering and carb loading to race morning nerves, pacing and the mistakes to avoid so that you can arrive at the start line feeling confident and ready to race. But first, how are you going, Coach Matt?
Georgia, it's always a delight. It's Monday.
It's Monday.
What's not to love?
I know. Do you ever get Sunday scaries?
Not since I've been sober.
Fair. That's a fair way to put it. I love that. Yeah.
No, Monday's my favorite day of the week, mate. Like I actually get sick of Sunday. I'm like, I just want it to be Monday so I can work.
So I can work.
Yeah.
Yeah, like forward. I do think Sunday scaries kind of only comes if you don't like your job. Like I'd never get Sunday scaries, you know. I'm like, okay, work tomorrow, whatever.
Yeah. Like I look forward to it. I actually I'm like a kid on Christmas. I can't sleep. I get up at like 2 a.m., 2:30 on a Monday morning. I'm like, I'm ready to go. Like, let's rip in.
You can tell you love what you do, which is good.
Opposite.
Yeah.
How are you, G? Super pregnant at the moment.
Super pregnant.
Super pregnant.
I showed Matt my belly on the camera before we started this, and he was like, whoa.
Yeah. Georgia actually looks like she's really far away from the camera at the moment because she can't get closer to the table.
I know, I literally can't get any closer. My stomach is literally sitting right on the edge of the table. But thankfully, a lot of benches are like the right height, and I can like put my tummy on top of the bench. I was filling my water bottle at work today and I was like, this bench is the perfect height for my stomach. I just sat it there for a minute. I was like, oh, this is nice.
You just need one of those sit-stand desks that just go up and down.
I know. Although I can't even really stand much at the moment because the swelling in my feet is so cooked. It is crazy. I have to keep getting tested for preeclampsia because the swelling is so bad. But I mean, I don't have it, so that's good.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, super, super pregnant. Today's Monday. Tomorrow is my last day of work, which is so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I do love my job, but I'm also very excited to do nothing because I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
And when's the due date? I know I've asked this a million times, but...
Oh, I would never expect anyone to remember that. It is the 25th of July, so I'll have if they come on their due date, I'd have 25 days off before the baby comes. If they come later, then great. If they come earlier, then great. I'm not pushing. I purposely took a bunch of time off so I could get some stuff done and we could record lots of episodes of the pod so that we have lots to go out when the baby comes. Life admin.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it's weird. 3 weeks, life's going to change.
It's so everyone keeps saying that. They're like, wow, your life is really going to change. I just don't think it's hit me yet how much it's going to change and just how crazy it is that in 3 weeks' time, it's not going to be me. I'm going to have this little attachment to me all the time. Like,
you got Nick as well.
Well, yeah, of course. But you know, like it's like you can't even go to the bathroom alone. If I was here alone, like I couldn't even go to the bathroom alone. I'd have to take the baby with me to the bathroom. So it's crazy. It's hard to wrap your head around, but that's okay. I'm excited. Yeah, I don't think it's really hit me. I don't think it will until the baby's in my arms and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, I think it's like that. You know, you get so used to things because it just changes ever so gradually.
Yeah.
And then like you don't realize until it's like bang. Like, oh, that's what the whole last 9 months was for.
Yeah, I know. And it's actually crazy when you think about how long 9 months actually is. That I'm like, wow.
Think about this from like a TPP perspective. Our Christmas party, you were like just telling people. Think about how longer that feels.
I know it does. Or like even the triathlon. I was looking at the photos of that today. I was kind of trying to find some stuff for TPP stuff, and I was looking at the photos from the triathlon, and I was like, wow, I wasn't even really that pregnant then, but that just feels like forever ago.
Forever.
Oh, anyway, but yeah. It's a whole thing. I'm very, very pregnant. I can barely walk. But that's fine. Sleeping is for the weak. I don't need to do that because I won't be doing it anytime soon.
I was going to say, fucking the next 6 years, mate, not much sleep happening, so goose gold.
Yeah. And if like you're looking at this on YouTube, guys, or you're probably going to see them on Instagram as well, I just look so tired, so puffy, but whatever. We deal.
We deal.
We deal. So big week ahead, Matt. Talk to us. What's happening?
GC Marathon, mate. I think it's actually definitely. How many did we have at Sydney Marathon last year?
Oh, like I reckon we had max 10.
No, we had maybe like 15.
There was. So I'm thinking of the photo we got. There was probably a few
Sorry.
people
Yeah,
missing.
no, we had a few extra. No. Yeah, so our biggest race weekend ever, 25 or 26 athletes
Yeah.
racing across the half and full distance, mostly full distance. Yeah, huge weekend. It's a very stressful week for me, so just
Yeah.
not a lot of sleep on this end. This is like me having my kids.
Yeah. Well, I was doing the slide for socials that has all of this year's athletes on it. We wanted to do something fun and creative for that. And I was writing even just the thing to say like who was racing and how many people were doing the marathon versus the double versus the half and everyone's pictures. And when you see them all, the people together, I was just like, holy crap. When you first started TPP, there was like 3 athletes, myself and was it not
Sam
Dave?
and Zoe.
Sam and Zoe, and then we had one other athlete. Yeah, 2 Petes.
Yeah, that was it.
And I looked at the photo from 2024 Gold Coast Marathon at the starting line, and there was like 4 of us in the photo because the others couldn't make the photo. And I was just like, oh my God, here I am making a slide for socials that has like 25 athletes on it. And I'm just like, that is insane in 2 years. Like, that is insane for one race. That's not even like our entire cohort of athletes. That's just like one race.
Not even close, yeah.
Yeah.
We have more doing Sydney.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I can't wait to do that one. That's going to be good. And I'm going to be here and I can run around and help people. And I'm just so excited.
You want to do it at any running? What are you talking about?
What do you mean? It's like the end of August. I'll be able to run around by then, surely.
How far do you think you're going to be able to run?
I'm not running the marathon. I mean, like I can
no
run
shit,
around after
Georgia.
athlete.
You'll be
I'll
sitting
get a
down,
line
I
bike.
reckon. Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's more like it.
Oh dear. Yeah, no, I'm really keen for Sydney.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry, guys. I thought I was gonna sneeze there for a second.
I thought I didn't know what was going on. Then I was like, did Georgia freeze or is she having a stroke? What's going on? Yeah, Sydney will be good, but GC Marathon this weekend. We've got a huge after party as well, which is cool. It's like our first big race event as well that we're doing. So bar tab, food, all the things for the athletes, which is really cool. Of course, Georgia gets to miss out on it, but that is what it is, mate.
All the fun is happening when I'm pregnant. It's not fair. Anyway, whatever.
Whatevs.
All right. Well, any highs and lows, Matt, besides, the bit of stress coming into Gold Coast Marathon?
No, honestly, that's like my only focus for the next 7 days, whatever it is just making sure that all those guys are right and race plans and getting the 2 a.m. messages of I can't sleep or I'm getting sick or my legs don't work and
I have a taper cold.
yeah. Or maranoia, which everyone seems to be saying of late. And I'm just like, I don't know.
That's a new one.
Yeah. I was like, okay, you got to teach me what that is. And no matter what you tell me it is, it's not true. So that doesn't really matter. Yeah. So just dealing with everyone, but no, it's all good. What about you, G?
Yeah. 90% dealing with athletes' emotions, 10% coaching.
Yeah, honestly, that's the job. 90% personal therapist.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. You make a good therapist.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. Highs and lows, mate. I finish work tomorrow. Last day. So good. So excited. Can't believe it. And lows, I have so much to do. Behind this camera is like so much shit. I'm so glad I'm not facing the other way anymore. Purposely turned the camera around because there is just shit everywhere in my apartment. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like I can't even wrap my head around trying to just do it at the moment. My mum comes next week and I'm just going to be like, help me, please help me.
Mm-hmm. How long is your mum staying?
She's coming for 2 weeks, so she'll be on baby watch, which is exciting. So
cool.
Spend some time with my mum.
Is Nick just like there with like looking for the bat signal or something? Like he's got to wait for the call and just be like on the run?
Yeah, his work kind of knows that, he's taking leave. He's put in for leave from my due date so that it's like, look, if after that, he's going to need to be with me because I'm just going to be so immobile. But up until then, they're kind of just, it's like if it happens tomorrow, he's off work. It's just like, sorry, drop everything. So we'll see. But yeah, which is good. So a couple of big appointments this week, which is exciting. But other than that, like I'm cruising, man. So no highs and lows, just life.
Fair. Actually, I tell Elijah, I have a secondary high that that we can share. Something that's been a long time coming. The second podcast being launched. Performance Project Podcast. Guys, don't take the name for a grain of salt. It is just because Coach Ant and I, we're doing a podcast. We talk about all things coaching. We sort of really deep dive and nerd out on a bunch of different topics and things. So it is unapologetically named the Performance Project Podcast, but it is not just all about the Performance Project. So it'll be on all the places that you can get Beyond the Finish Line. TPP Pod will be there as well. We'll even put it in the show notes of this episode and you'll be able to check it out. It's drops every Thursday. So Beyond the Finish Line Wednesdays, TPP Pod Thursdays.
Yeah, and a lot of our listeners are TPP athletes, and a lot convert across to TPP just because they love hearing you talk about coaching and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's going to be a really cool podcast. I'm excited to start listening to it. I can see it in the back end of all of our podcast editing.
I'm surprised you haven't.
Well, I kind of wanted to just listen to it on Spotify because I just think, I don't know, listening to it on my laptop just doesn't seem the same. Maybe I'll listen to it when I'm cleaning my apartment.
There you go.
But yeah, no, I'm excited to see you guys like host the podcast together. You know, I know this has been in the works for quite a while and we've had athletes talking about wanting, you know, you to do more sort of, I don't know, personal stuff and more coaching stuff and all that kind of stuff. But whereas this podcast is more about like, you know, giving free information for running of all different types. And we're not trying to vomit TPP on everyone. So yeah, for those that want more info on coaching and all that kind of stuff, it'll be a great place to go and listen to it.
Yeah. So we're dropping 3 episodes on Thursday. So people will just be able to hit the ground running.
That's good. You need that. And plus, like, I mean, God, your lucky listeners getting the first 3 episodes and they're going to be good quality because they're not going to be like ours.
I think if you listen to it, and any OG Beyond the Finish Line listeners, if they listen to it, Ant's opening 2 episodes, it is very reminiscent of Georgia being like, what do I do with my hands? How do I talk? But episode 3, he really like found his feet and like got grooving. So yeah. It's a very different dynamic versus question and answer. It's just us sort of going back and forth.
Yeah, it's cool. It's 2 coaches, right? So
yeah, exactly.
You know,
different dynamic.
Different dynamic, which is good. And yeah, look, as much as I was nervous then, I feel like now I could just yap away forever. So
no comparison. But like, if you go back and listen to the first dozen episodes of BTFL, yeah, it's very similar. But I think it was interesting because like I'm obviously better at podcasting now. So I was able to like, when I first started with you, I had to like try and drag you through, but I wasn't good enough to do that.
Yeah.
And how quickly I got Ant comfortable. I was like, oh, like all this is paying off. So it's cool.
So you're telling me that you don't make him sit in silence for like 10 seconds while he dies?
Nah. I also like, there's no silence of Ant. Like getting him to shut up is the trick.
Yeah, look, every time someone tells me they're starting back to the start at the Beyond the Finish Line podcast, I'm like, oh dear, please listen to some relevant. Yeah, please start like now with this episode. Start at 73 and then go back.
yeah, work your way backwards. When it starts to get shit, then stop.
No, they're all great. Trust me, every one of them is incredible. Anyway, all right, let's get on to today's episode. We're going to chat all about Race Week Survival Guide. We did one of these for Sydney Marathon and you guys absolutely loved it. So we thought, why not do one for Gold Coast, seeing as it is such a popular marathon this year. I feel like everyone on socials is talking about it. So hopefully this reaches all the right people on Wednesday. Race is, well, depending on if you're doing the half or the full, you've got Saturday, Sunday, big weekend ahead. So hopefully this helps. Well, I think it will.
I think so. Like,
I think so.
Yeah, we use TPP as the barometer, and everyone is very nervous. They're nervous about weather. They're nervous about distances. They're nervous about you name it. So we're like, okay, like it's not just going to be these guys. Like there's going to be other people out there.
Yeah, and we just take what all of the athletes are nervous about or asking us questions about, and we've just like popped them all into the episode. We're quite lucky that we do get a bit of an inside scoop into what our listener base really wants to talk about, so which is good. But yeah, race week is always a bit of a funny one. Everyone always goes a little bit crazy in race week. Whether that's, what did you call it before?
Maranoia.
Maranoia.
Shout out Keisha for that one. I hadn't heard it before. And she was like, I got maranoia. I'm like, that's not real.
Sounds like marinara.
That's what I thought. I was like,
Just thinking about
yeah,
pizza.
I can get behind that.
Well, that's a big thing about a marathon week is you get to eat a lot of pizza. So what is it about like marathon week that makes people lose their minds? Like why is that? I feel like this should be the calmest point of their training.
I think it's like, it depends if you're an experienced runner or not. I think the two main ones are the unknown. Like if you've never run a marathon before, you just like, I don't know what to expect. And there's just so much unknown. You don't know if you've trained enough, even if you've got a coach, like there's so much. And then if you're an experienced runner, I think it's just like the self-doubt. And I mean, they're probably two of the same, but it's like, just have I done enough to achieve the goal that I want? And that's like sort of eats away at you. But I don't know. Like I think once you have banked a couple of them, I think that then you get a pretty good idea of where you're at, where your body's at, and you can really get control of it. I do think people don't spend enough time really thinking about stuff, and they just let the thoughts and emotions overwhelm them and let them spiral, versus being like, okay, like, why am I thinking this? What is the root cause? How do I solve that? Is it logical? And then like sort of solving for that versus just going, for 6 days straight.
Do you know what? It's probably a bit like me right now being like, yeah, I'm having a baby soon, whatever. And it's going to be like the minute I go into labor, I'm going to be like, holy shit. What do I do with my hands?
That's it.
Yeah, I do agree that no matter if you are a seasoned athlete or if you are doing your first ever marathon, it's a very similar feeling in that, you're like, have I trained enough? Is this, have I done X, Y, Z? But I think it always just comes down to like you always say, and I love this saying, is like the hay is in the barn, and like, you've put in the hard work, you've stacked all the bricks. You just have to kind of trust that you are there and it's going to be okay.
Yeah, I think that's maybe another thing people don't realize too is like maybe like 18 days out, you're not really changing anything fitness wise. Like, yes, you've got to keep training to keep your conditioning up, but like in terms of systematically improving your fitness, it's basically done. I always tell my guys, like, you can't make it any better, but you can make it a hell of a lot worse. So just got to keep ticking along.
Yeah, on that, like, how can you make it worse? Like, are there specific things? I know that's a very broad question, but like, are there specific things you can do that really is going to affect you on race day if you do them in the week leading up to the marathon?
Yeah, I'd say like the 2 weeks leading in, like, I don't so much harp on this anymore because, and we actually spoke about this on TPP podcast, where your athletes become a reflection of you as a coach. And I think the better you become at coaching, the quicker your athletes adapt it. So I'd say for a lot of my guys, I used to tell them, and Georgia, you would have got this message from me at some point, just because you've gone through peak week doesn't mean your training's over. Like, this next block is like the taper block is super, super important. Got to keep all of your training consistent. We've got to make sure we're hitting our race pace efforts, et cetera, et cetera. Where now my guys mostly know it's like, I know I've been consistent. I know I've just got to keep ticking the box, and like, that'll be good for race day. I think what a lot of people do is, I don't think I know, having coached, I don't know how many marathon athletes now, is peak week, that big run, that 36K run, 34K, whatever it is, your big run, they set that as like their mental finish line. And that's the big thing on the calendar. That's what they think about. That's what they're stressed about. It's like, oh my God, how am I going to do 36Ks or 35Ks or whatever it is? How am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? And then they go and do it. And they're like, oh, okay, I'm done. And it's like, no, you've still got fucking 18 days. Like, and you'll so often see the athletes who build that up in their heads. That's when they get sick. That's when they fall off their training. That's when, because they've built that peak week up into this huge thing. When it's like, we're just trying to keep everyone even keel, get through peak week, and then just keep ticking over, ticking over, ticking over.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I've never thought about it that way, that, you know, you do really stress about that one big run that you've got to kind of work towards. Whereas, I mean, even after that big run, you've still got a decent sized run after it in taper week. And
Yeah.
then, well,
Still run
taper
a half
weeks.
marathon normally the next week. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say the next week, and then you're going, oh, it's just a half marathon. And
Mm.
you really do have to try and keep yourself level headed through that whole taper week process, because that's when you work yourself up, and then you end up with like a taper cold or something, because your body is just like in fight or flight. And then it's like you need to rest. So, yeah, I do think a lot of people do take the accelerator off or put the brakes on, and then kind of get to race week and they're like, oh shit, I have to do
Yeah.
that again.
Yeah. It's just central nervous system, right? Like they just like are so stressed about the training and
Yeah.
probably don't have that right outlet or ask the right questions to a coach or have the experience to be able to go like, no, I can get through this. No, this isn't anything super crazy. Like I can just build and build and build. And then how often do you see after a race someone gets sick? Like after actual race day, everyone gets a cold or everyone gets like a bit of like a head cold or whatever because the central nervous system crashes, immune system crashes, they get sick, they're out for a week or two, then they're back to training. Peak week, central nervous system crashes, immune system crashes. 2 weeks, they're sort of in and out, and then all of a sudden it's race week, and they're like, fuck, I gotta pull myself together. That's why it's like
Yeah.
really important to keep it in check.
Yeah, I think the only time I never really got a taper cold was before Sydney Marathon last year, and that would
Yeah.
be mostly because I was so even keel. I was just like, yep, we're cruising in. We're not going to stress about it. It's all good. And that also comes down to prep and whether or not you've prepped enough for the race. And if you feel, you feel like you've adequately done all the training you need, which, also comes back to that anxiety you were talking about last week with, why is it that I'm feeling this anxious, which then causes your
Mm.
system to be fight or flight and all those things.
Yeah, I try to as soon as peak week's done, I really try not even like me when I'm going for sub 10 or whatever, I try not to think about the times at all. Like until maybe a couple of days out from the race, then I start like really going through my race plan. But you're just burning nervous energy, and if you're burning nervous energy, your central nervous system can only take so much of that, just like constant, because your brain doesn't switch off. It just goes and goes and goes and goes. So you might think, oh, I only thought about it for a little bit. But you actually thought about it for like 16 hours. And it's just
Yeah.
wearing away at you, wearing away at you. And then all of a sudden you just get to race day and you are cooked. So many people run their race before it even starts.
Yeah, I had an interesting voice note this week from someone, and they basically were asking in the voice note, did I have any tips on how to, like, I think because you had spoken on the podcast about, that I was so calm and collected on the day, and that, I wasn't really stressed about whether or not I could get my goal, and I just knew I was going to get it. And they kind of said, oh, how did you deal with that? Like, what are your tips on getting to race day and feeling confident? And I was just like, well, I just trusted my training. I knew that I'd put the work in. I never let myself just go, oh, something's going to go wrong, or I'm
Mm.
not going to get the thing. I'm not going to get the time I want. I didn't let that anxiety really get to me, so that I then crashed when I was before the race and was really nervous, because it wastes a lot of energy when you get into the start line and you're so stressed. Whereas it's kind of like, well, you've done your big run. So remember that you've worked really hard for that. And now this is just the next step up, and you can do it. Just like you went from 30 to 34, you can go from 34 or 36 to 42. But I do think a lot of people coming into race day really spend a lot of time being anxious about it when they really should be trying to just be really calm.
Yeah. And like I said, that nervous energy,
Yeah.
you don't process it as nervous energy throughout, but like your brain uses, I can't remember what it is now, uses a crazy amount of glycogen, just like percentage of glycogen in your body just to run. And if you're just constantly thinking about that, you're burning energy just at a ridiculous degree of knots. And then you add a little bit of exercise on top of that. You add travel, you add all the external stimulus going on.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, but you're probably not going to sleep particularly well in a hotel, like you're in a foreign environment. It's like, add all of those things together and it is a recipe for disaster. So, like, what's the biggest thing we say at TBP is like control the controllables. You can control your emotions, you can control how you feel. And some people might hear that and go, like, I can't control my emotion, I can't control my anxiety. Like, you can, you just need to take the time to learn and train. Like, we do a lot of mental work with our athletes, even when they don't realize that we're doing it, laying the groundwork in terms of, okay, you had a bad run. That's fine. On to the next. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Forget
Yeah.
about it. And like, we train them to forget about stuff. We train them that all of these things that maybe you would spend half a day thinking about, a day thinking about, 2 or 3 days thinking about. It's like out of sight, out of mind, gone, on to the next. So it's really important that you just take the time to keep that mental state in check and keep it all even keel so you're not just wasting energy.
I love that. That's so, yeah, it's so true. And, I just think it is hard. It's better. Sorry, it's easier said than done.
Of
I've
course.
been there. You obviously can get to the start line and you're absolutely shaking like a leaf and all of those things. And your first marathon, you're 100% going to be like that. Just try not to get caught up in it, I think is the biggest thing, is just like acknowledge that you're nervous and acknowledge that you're anxious. But then, as Matt said, you just got to control the controllables and just ride it a little bit.
Yeah, and I think like the next biggest mistake athletes make with that nervous energy is they try and almost outrun it. So they get to race day and they're like, I'm just going to go out hot. Like, I don't care. I'm just going to run hard. And
Yeah.
you'd be way better off just going, I'm going to spend the first 5Ks cruising, get everything under control, then find my race pace. And then they wonder like 10Ks in why they're absolutely, barbecued.
Yeah, it's such a good hack for like that nervous energy at the start is to go that bit slower because you really settle in a lot quicker. And, I don't know if you get this, but when you're super nervous, you can't breathe properly, and which is then going to, affect your heart rate and all those things. So I think if you're kind of cruising at the start, it is a lot easier to settle into the race and like then go, okay, I'm hitting my pace now. My heart rate's good. You can really look at all of the things that you want to control on the day.
Yeah. And realistically, if you go out and you just have your heart rate in check, it's like that's 90% of the battle. Like everything is so much easier if your heart rate's under control. Once you lose control of that heart rate, everything just gets so much harder and like your day's over before it started.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. What are some other kind of race week mistakes people make that you've seen?
Um, hmm. Big race week mistake. So nervous energy, big one. Number two was probably not having a race day, pre-race day plan. So it's like, what time am I getting up? What's the public transport like? How am I getting to the start line? What time is my wave? What's my warm up look like? Just
Yeah.
having that whole sort of procedure set up so they know, okay, like Gold Coast Marathon, for example, first wave 6:15. So it's like, cool. Like, we're going to make all of our TPP athletes get there between 5:15 and 5:30. Like, that's when we're meeting. That's when we're getting there. Yes, it's early, but it gives people something goes wrong, time to get there. They have a coach there waiting for them. It's like they have time to warm up. There is always, like, we have a contingency plan for all of that. We know what trams we need to get. We know how long the trams take. All of the things. The amount of people who would be like, what time's it start? And like, oh, give myself 10 minutes to get there, but I don't know where the tram stop is. And, like, oh, what am I having for breakfast? It's like, no, like everything should be planned out. Like, so having that pre-race plan, I think is very, very important because it just, again, mental energy, you're not wasting any mental energy because you know it, it's done. Like tram at 5 a.m., 5:05 or whatever it is, boom, done. I got to walk 200 meters down here, hook a right, boom, done. It's like, it's all taken care of. Don't even have to think.
Yeah. And that reduces so much on the day anxiety as well. I mean, realistically, you're not going to sleep the night before anyway. I was going to get into this kind of race morning stuff a bit later on in the episode, but let's do it now because we're talking about it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Gold Coast, the tram, like, I don't know if you remember, like, depending on where you are on the tram line, I was right near the starting line. I think I was 2 stops away from the starting line. So by the time the tram got to us, Nick and I could only just fit on the tram. Like I'm talking, like you see those Japanese trams, trains where like people
They're
are
pushing you on.
Yeah, it was
It was
that. It
wild.
was wild. So I think like go, what is the latest time I can get the tram to get there on time? And then try and get 2 trams before it because
Yeah, at least.
Because there was so many people that were like the tram wasn't even opening the doors and they're just like, oh shit, like you got to be prepared for that. You've got to be prepared that you're going to miss like at least 2 or 3 trams before you can get on one. Or you either do that or try and even look at getting on at a tram stop closer, like further away kind of thing, if that makes sense, so that you can get on when there's less people.
That's nearly a hack for GC is go to the end of the tram line, like the furthest end away, book your accommodation there so you get a spot all the way through.
Yeah, exactly. We always stay in Main Beach and it's super close to the starting line, which means like it's super close to where you finish as well. But it does make it tricky. So I think having a contingency plan if you can't get on the trams because they do get so busy, and whether that's just like I'm going to walk to the starting line or like use that as a bit of a warm up or, I'm going to line bike it, whatever it might be, just make sure you got a backup plan because like there's nothing worse than on race day being like, oh my God, I'm screwed. And then you miss your starting wave.
Like a prime example, George's sub 4. We caught the train in, but because of the way they'd closed the roads, and this didn't affect Georgia, this just affected me and Sam. They pushed us around like the other side of North Sydney Oval. It took us like an extra 20 minutes to get there. Yeah. And like we had TPP athletes, like we were meant to meet them and they're like, we have to go to our areas. And I was like, they're like, it's just a mistake that we made that we didn't realize those roads would be closed.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't like if people don't understand kind of how, make sure you look at also like where does the tram get off and where do I have to walk and, what roads are closed on the morning of, because if you're planning on getting an Uber, things like that, some of the roads are closed. So then they're going to drop you in the wrong place. Like you really need to think about this. And there's a reason why the website has such a detailed plan on how to get to the starting line. I do remember last year my wave actually went early and I don't know if you remember this, Matt, we all had to jump the fence because the waves were just so quick at moving. They were kind of like going, oh, here's the 3-hour wave, and it went. And then by the time my wave was supposed to start, it was like they were already running. So you've got to really plan that you're going to have to start earlier than you need to because that was unnecessary stress. And
we try and have all TPP athletes ready like a good 15, like warmed up, ready to go 15 minutes before their wave is meant to go.
Yeah, definitely. Because that's, that probably contributed to my heart rate as well, was that I had to jump the fence and just go. Like there was
you just went,
Yeah, there was no waiting for the gun to go off. It was just like, bye. So, sorry. Like race morning, I was just going to say like just really planning what you are having for breakfast and the caffeine and when you're going to have your caffeine. But I mean, realistically, you really should have been practicing this on all of your long runs as well. Yeah, I think allowing that time to like eat your breakfast is important because sometimes with all that nervous energy you have, like you feel a bit sick and you're like, I can't stomach this. So give yourself time to wake up. Give yourself time to go, okay, I'm making my toast. I'm going to eat my toast or I'm going to eat my banana, whatever it is you have. Get the food in because if you don't want to start your day off on the wrong foot by like not eating breakfast or having your caffeine too late and then, your heart rate's through the roof and all of those sorts of things. So, that's kind of race morning tips. Anything else? What else do we need to...
They're my big ones. Like I'm a big planner and just knowing like this is the procedure. Like this is it. We do not deviate from that. Like, I mean, if someone wanted to assassinate me on race morning, it'd be so easy. Like they know exactly what time, where I'm at, what seat I'm sitting in. Like it'd be so easy. So, I think that's the biggest thing athletes can do is like take the time, especially like a GC, for example, take the time, catch the tram up, see where the precinct is. Cause like the, Expo is like at the opposite end of the Gold Coast. So like take the time to go up there, scout it out, cool start area, finish area, maybe pick out a couple of landmarks. So like when you can meet your either friends or couples or partners, whatever it is afterwards. So you're like not worried about where I've got to meet them. Like, cool, the big tree over there, or, you know, the ASICS booth or whatever it is. Just take the time to scout it all out, know where you're going. I think that'll save you so much mental energy.
Yeah, because I think, you know, a lot of people asking you questions the day before the race as well is not going to be helpful. So for your nerves as well. So, you know, just on what Matt just said about your family, make sure your family aren't getting the tram to the finish line. So my parents got the tram to the finish line. They had seen me on the course and then they're like, oh, we'll just get the tram up because that'll take me to the finish line. And it does. But the problem is you've got to cross the marathon course to get to where the finishing chute is. So just make sure that they're not doing that and help them plan ahead so that, you know, they're not texting you or something late at night before the race being like, oh, how am I going to see you, or where do I go, what do I do? Like, set all that stuff up in the days before as well, making sure that they understand exactly where they've got to be and that, you know, like, okay, my family's going to be at 15Ks, they're going to be at 22Ks, and then I'm going to see them again at the finish line. They're going to be there. We're going to meet at this tent afterwards, like Matt said. Just really get all that stuff done early so that you're not stressing about it the night before.
Yeah, I'm a pretty firm advocate of do not text me the day before the race. Like anything that you guys need, like that's not my problem. You sort it out. Like I don't want to know. You can message Sam or like don't contact us. Like, and Sam won't even bring it up. Like she won't even tell me about it. So,
she's putting out fires left, right, and center.
Nah, just like I don't want to bother. Yeah, so I give everyone up until Friday night. I'm like, if you need anything, Friday at 6. That's the cutoff. Like, don't bother me after that.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's not a bad point. Like, you know, family, they feel like they're trying to be helpful and stuff like that, but sometimes it's just adding to your stress. So try to manage that as best as you can. Yeah, look, I think some other race week mistakes you can kind of make would be like, if it's your first time on the Gold Coast, or anywhere that you're going for your race, whether it's the Gold Coast Marathon or you're doing a marathon somewhere else, just make sure you're not sightseeing too much the day before. Don't be, you know, don't be doing a me for London and doing like 20,000 steps the day before the race because we had to go from Paris to London and then we wanted to quickly do some stuff in London. So don't do that. Trust me, you don't want that extra
I feel like every Saturday before a race, you just look down and you're like 15,000 steps. Okay. Like, how the fuck did that happen?
I sneezed and it was 15,000 steps. Yeah. So try and plan, you know, your day before to be very well rested. Make sure, you know, you're not going out and
get
doing
everything sorted on the Friday.
Get it all sorted on the Friday. Exactly. And if you're running on the Saturday, again, get it all sorted on the Thursday. Just make sure you're not going sightseeing and be like, let's do a tour of the Gold Coast the day before.
Every Ironman, I don't know how it happens, but it's like Saturday, we'll look down, it's like it's 5:30 and we're not done yet and we're still like running around. I'm like, how does this happen every year?
I feel like Ironman though, like you guys have to do so much before the race. Like
we do, but like I'm an organized person and I'm still like not organized. And I'm like, how the fuck do unorganized people get this shit done?
Oh, like, I know. Don't get me started.
Yeah.
I'm so type A. I'm like, I don't know how type B people live their life.
No, I don't get it.
Oh, yeah. No, don't do that. Try to get to the expo not on the Saturday before you race. Try to do it on the Friday because, again, the expo, you spend so much time walking around the expo and then you're just exhausted and it's not good. Trust me, don't do it. I've done it before. It's not worth it. Yeah, like just be mindful of what you're doing the day before is probably my biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
What was I going to say? Oh, so let's move on to some carb loading because I feel like that is our biggest question we always get coming into race season, and every marathon, everyone asks us like, oh, can you help me with my carb loading? So Matt, bit of a loaded question, and I know you're not a dietitian or a nutritionist or anything like that.
I'm a nutritionist, not a dietitian.
I didn't know you were a nutritionist. Oh, there you go, guys.
Yeah. So the only difference, I just can't like make medical prescriptions or like write stuff down. Basically, I can't do like meal plans. That's like the only real difference.
Okay, so guys, keep that in mind. This is not a prescription.
Sorry for all the dietitians out there who like give me the list of 400 other things I can't do, but just like broadly speaking, I'm a generalist while they are specialists.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
That's, we have dietitians for a reason. Okay, cool. Can you give us a very broad look at what a carb load might look like, for Gold Coast Marathon on Sunday, or any kind of marathon if it's on a Sunday?
Yeah. So generally speaking, for women, 6 to 7 grams of carbohydrates per kilo of body weight, and guys can be anywhere from 8 to 12. Um, some girls can handle 8 or 9. In my experience in coaching, a lot of them, when they start pushing up a little bit higher, unless they've got quite a high natural muscle percentage, they do get a bit sluggish and they feel a bit bloated. Obviously, you got to take your cycle and where you are in that into consideration, because you'll naturally hold a little bit more water. So if it is your time of the month, probably going on the lesser side of that, you're not going to take. There'll be no performance detriment to going down to 6 or 7 versus 8 or 9.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
good point.
and then most of our guys at TPP, we get them practicing all of that stuff the weeks leading in. But if you haven't practiced a carb load, do not think of it as this is an all-you-can-eat buffet of pizza and pasta for 3 days, because that's a disaster. The general rule of thumb for guys, add half a cup of additional carbs. So if you have 1 cup of rice, 1.5 cups of rice. 1 cup of oats, 1.5 cup of oats. Girls, a quarter cup. Is the math absolutely perfect? No, but is it super simple and very manageable, and you're able to add more? It's easier to add more. Yes. So start there. Great hacks, liquid carbohydrates. So any sort of Powerade powders, or fan favorite on here, concentrated pineapple juice, maple syrup, honey, orange juice, obviously. Any of those sorts of things, really, really great for liquid carbs. They're not going to feel super bloated. And keeping it as close to your normal diet as possible. The amount of people, and guilty of this I am for my early carb loading days, I need 1,000 grams of carbs per day. I'm going to buy 6 packs of Krispy Kreme donuts, and that's all I'm going to eat. And cookies and chocolate, and I'd still have some health, some normal food, rice and chicken or whatever. But you better believe every meal was finished with 3 donuts, and just
Oh, look, I
don't
think
do it.
everyone does that.
Yeah,
Don't
everyone
worry.
does. But our cookie is okay. Our chocolate is okay. But if you don't eat a cookie every single day as part of your normal diet, don't all of a sudden have 5 in 3 days.
Yeah. And that's
it's not.
that's what you're getting at there, is it's by all means, go and eat 5 Krispy Kreme donuts if you want, but your body is going to go into full shock. It's going to be
it's not gonna
what the
it.
absolute fuck are you feeding me right now? For me, my biggest, I love carb loading the dinner, my lunch, before. I always do bolognese, but bolognese is part of my regular diet. I love it. And as Matt said, I just, instead of having heaps of sauce, I have less sauce and I add more pasta in. And that is the easiest way for me. And again, like you said, with the liquid carbs, it's so much easier to get carbs in if you're adding in the liquid side. And that's not too far away from what I normally would eat. But I'm not out there going and buying I do see a lot of people go out and buy really carby cereals, and they've never had them before. And I'm like, just be careful of the fiber content in that, because sometimes they're full of fiber, and that can be dangerous as well.
Yeah. So just stick to everything as normal as possible. There is no secret blend of foods. It's just a little bit more carbs than normal. If this is what you've trained on, if this is what your performance is based on, just continue to do that, but just do a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. And if you need to add in some extra stuff, I like to have dried fruit, because again, I eat a lot of dried fruit. I love it. I just have a little bit more than I normally would. And that way, I'm not freaking my system out too much. What else is a fan favorite? The pineapple juice is a big one. We get a lot of people send us photos of their pineapple juice. And I think coming into race week, Nick and I are very well known to have 5 or 6 cartons of the Woolworths pure pineapple juice in our fridge.
We always have 2 Tetra packs of concentrated pineapple juice in the pantry at all times. It's emergency carb load. I've got a race tomorrow and I've just signed up last minute. I've got pineapple juice.
Yeah, and for a while there, Nick and I we were talking about it quite a lot on the podcast. And look, I'm not going to say it's us, but I've never heard anyone else talk about it other than you. And for a while there, my local Woolworths was selling out of it, and I was like, "Hold on,
Yeah,
no,
I'm
no."
a market mover. Yeah.
So that's a good one. Also, cloudy apple juice is another good one. It's just a bit more expensive. So if you don't like pineapple juice, cloudy apple juice is full of carbs as well. It's a good
Yeah.
one.
And my last hack in the carb loading uh regime is don't make the dinner the night before your biggest meal.
Yeah.
Make it the lunch. Breakfast and lunch so if you're racing the marathon on the Saturday, and then Sunday just top everything up. Monday, race morning, again, normal breakfast, normal what you've had for all of your long runs, and then go through. Don't be going to bed super bloated or super full. You're not going to sleep well. Digestion's going to be all out. It'll throw things out in the morning.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I think if you're up on the Gold Coast, there's a really great bagel place.
Tell
I
me
dream
more.
about I dream about that bagel place. There's one in near the Expo. There's one. It's a chain, and there's two of them. I know there's one in Southport, and there's one near the Expo. I cannot remember the name of it, and I'm not going to sit here and look it up right now. But it's a chain, like you'd know it. I think it's a yellow logo. I could be wrong, but they do the best bagels. And we went and all had bagels for, I think it was the lunch the day before, and
My
it
mouth
was
is watering right now.
elite. It was elite, guys.
I'm
so
so
good.
hungry.
And they do like all the really good bagels, like the proper New York style bagels. Oh, fuck, so good. So good.
Yeah,
You
my
have to
mouth
try
is watering.
it. What else? I think, yeah, just in terms of like your carb load, do you say people should start on say if you're racing on the Sunday, are they starting on the Thursday or are they starting on the Friday?
Again, this is something like try and test. So the I believe like textbook would say it's 72 hours, where what I have found for me personally is I'll take actually a little bit less. So rather than being like the 9 or 10 grams that most blokes will do, I'll go down to 8, maybe even 7, but I'll do it over 4 days. And that's just a personal preference. But I think textbook would say like 2.5 to 3 days off the top of my head.
I've always started on the Thursday. I felt like
Yeah.
that was a comfortable amount for me to not then take on a ton of water and feel really like yuck. And I just start Thursday morning. Just, instead of having one bagel, I'm having 1.5, or I'm having a bagel and a crumpet, that kind of thing. Adding, peanut butter,
And if
adding some honey.
And if you're a first time carb loader, I would
Welcome.
encourage you. I would encourage you to start that day earlier. That way, and you almost definitely will overshoot one of your meals, and you're like, oh my god, I'm so full. There is no pressure for you to then have another big meal. You could actually like skip a meal, and then like, okay, I know I overshot lunch. I'm not going to do that for the next 2 days. I know where to dial it back. So it just gives you a little bit of wriggle room, as I like to say, room for fuckery. It's a technical coaching term.
Yeah. And look, carb loading is such a great excuse to just enjoy it and kind of just, have your pizza if you want to. Just don't have it the night before the race. Have it the day before that.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun to just be like, I can eat all the carbs and I can have lots of rice and do all these things. And a lot of people feel guilty for it. You don't have to. You just get to enjoy it. Drink all your carbs and just,
enjoy being fat. It's great.
Yeah. Have some vanilla slice if you want.
Fuck yeah.
Have all of the croissants. There's going to be so many different activations.
I have 3 pieces of vanilla slice before UTA. So as much as I give you guys great advice, like that's a little insight into my life. Temptation was there and I did not say no. I was like, you know what? I don't give a fuck.
See, Matt has vanilla slice. I can't be trusted with dried mango. Like, serving suggestion.
They're not even in the same world.
Oh, nah. Serving suggestion out the door. Like, I will buy a packet of dried mango and I've done it in like 2 minutes. I just eat the entire packet and it
is delicious. Yeah.
Oh, I remember one day you and I were doing a long run and I was eating dried mango and I told you how much I'd eaten and you were like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot. Like I could go through, I think last week I had a craving for dried mango and I had 3 packets in like 2.5 days. And I was like, oops.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, I thought you were going to say you sat down on the lounge and ate 3 packets.
Oh, no. I had it in like 2 days, I think. I bought 2 packets and I was like, oh, I'll save this one for the next. I ate it.
I sat down and watched 1 episode of my show and 3 packets gone. 11,000 calories.
Yeah, so many calories in them. I was like, shit. So yes, just enjoy that because, there's not many times where you get to eat stuff and you internally don't feel super guilty.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't have to feel guilty. Like it's just food. Fuck. Do what you want.
And you're about to run a marathon. Like, let's be fair, Deacon, you're fine.
Yeah. And just think about that post-run feed.
That's
So
actually
good.
that's actually my biggest, it's almost like the bodybuilders, how like they have the donut as soon as they get off stage. That's like my biggest thing for like trying to stay as clean as possible during my carb load. So post race, I'm just like, whatever I want, guilt-free.
Vanilla slice, guilt-free.
Vanilla slice and strawberry donuts.
Strawberry donuts. There you go.
Strawberry donuts, like I love, that is my ultimate go-to, bar none, Homer Simpson style, fake strawberry. It's got to be like thick, like a loaf of bread type donut. Like can't be light like a Krispy Kreme. I don't want any of that shit. I want to be like gnawing on the bastard.
Yeah, I don't know what my post-run feed is. I always feel really sick after a marathon, so I don't eat till like later that day. But yeah, a good Krispy Kreme donut never goes astray.
And a strawberry thick shake.
Oh God, you're so weird. All right. Is there I wanted to talk about just kind of getting back on track here. We got a bit sidetracked there with all the food. That just managing that first 10K of the race, because I feel like this is where a lot of things can go wrong. For me, that was where, my biggest mistake happened for Gold Coast in 2024, which you guys have heard so much about. I'm not going to get into it, but what are the mistakes people make in the first 10K, and like how can they make sure they're aware of them so that they don't make that mistake themselves?
Yeah, so this comes back to like that nervous energy, and I feel like most people, they either take off too hot because adrenaline is pumping and they're like, oh, this feels so easy and I'm just going to run while it feels easy, and then all of a sudden it doesn't feel easy. And then the second one is people who are super nervous about like setting a time goal and they're like, I got to get in front of the clock. They're probably the 2 big ones, and they go out too hot, even if it's not super hot, but they go out too hot. And marathon pace is really, really close to your threshold pace. And threshold pace is the theoretical pace that you can hold for 1 hour. And if you go out even like 92% of threshold, after about a 10K, so for a lot of you guys, it's going to be somewhere between 50 and 70 minutes, the majority of people listening to this. It's like, what have you done? You've basically just run an hour at threshold. And then guess what? You've got 32 more Ks to go. And once you cross over threshold, for newer listeners, any of our experienced listeners don't know this, once you go over threshold, your body starts to produce, or once you over LT1, so over your zone 2, your body starts to produce lactate. And lactate is an acid so lactic acid, gets into the blood, and your body is really, really good, not really good, it's decently good at taking that lactate out of the blood, shuttling it into the muscles and using it and recycling it, using it for energy. Now, as you get closer and closer to threshold, that lactate builds and it builds and it builds, and you're trying to take small portions of lactate out, put it into the muscle, but you're putting in less than it's producing. So it continues to build and build and build. And once you cross over threshold and that lactic acid, it's essentially a poison, spills over and goes into the muscles, you are not being able to produce any power, any speed for a considerable amount of time. So that's why when people sort of cross over that 10, 15K mark, maybe you're a super conditioned athlete, you might make it to the half marathon, and then everything just crashes and goes down. So if we look at Georgia's GC marathon, like almost to the textbook, what happened? That was Georgia crashing and vomiting. Yeah, so
Seeing
that
stars, almost passing out.
Yeah.
Do not recommend.
yeah, and like all like textbook symptoms of just pushing too hard and then trying to keep going.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and it's the textbook of what you were just saying with like that, not the nervous energy, but just being like, I had a goal in mind, so I was like, I'm going to run ahead of the pacer because then if the pacer catches up to me, I know I need to run faster. Not trusting my heart rate zones, like Matt said, like just going well over LT1 and then just
Look at
going
you,
crazy.
LT1.
I know, thank you. And just like my heart rate was significantly higher than it should have been. And so then the minute it spilled over, I know the minute it spilled over because I had a power rate, it dropped to the bottom of my stomach, completely all of that lactate spilled over, and I started seeing stars and I had to stop. And so don't do what I did. Listen to Matt. I didn't listen to him. And look where it got me. Nowhere. So there you go. I was the idiot. Don't be the idiot. But yeah, like I just did everything wrong.
Yeah, and just for the time-based athletes who are like, I want to get in front of the clock. Endurance sports is not about how you start; it's about how you finish. So
Yeah.
if you get in front of the clock, unless you like are beyond confident and you're like, I've got this in the bag, and you've actually set like quite a conservative goal, I would feel really, really confident being behind the clock at 20Ks, 25Ks, even 28, 30Ks, and then knowing that, I want to say behind the clock, 5 to 6 minutes behind goal pace, I would feel pretty comfortable about, okay, in that back 10Ks, like if I've paced this correctly, if I've fueled correctly, and my durability is on point because I didn't skip any of my long runs, I would be able to bring that time down and be able to bring it home. So don't let the clock dictate your race. Like you need to dictate your race. That's what makes a good endurance athlete.
Yeah, and just on the clock thing, something that I learned in later races was really know where you should be if you are reaching for a time. Know where you should be in the your elapsed time. So don't be going, oh great, my watch says I'm doing this, but if you're trying to get a certain goal time, you have to kind of really, like, even if you have to permanent marker it on your arm, just be like, at 10K for my goal, I need to be, plus or minus a couple of minutes of this time, and then same for 21K, same for 30K, like Matt said, same for kind of around your 40K, just so that you're not, because I got caught up with that in the year before, thinking that I was on pace because I was looking at my watch, but not actually being on pace. So just making sure that when you're looking at the markers and stuff that you are going off the time that's written on your arm, not the one that's on your watch. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So Georgia's saying, like, if you're running a 6-minute pace, that is your goal.
Yes.
At 10 kilometers, you should be there at the hour. At 20 kilometers, 2 hours. Like that's it. Not like just because you're looking down and it says 6-minute pace, but you've actually run the previous 3 kilometers at 6:10 pace. Like your elapsed time would be different.
Thank you. You always articulate it a lot better than I can.
Well, I also had 2 years of having to decipher you before I could do that. So it's like, when she says this, what does she mean?
I know, he can read my mind now. It's great. That's very handy.
We've also done an additional at least 73 hours of talking to one another on top of that.
I know, right? Oh, good. Well, that should set everyone up pretty well for, race day.
Race morning, carb load, first 10Ks, nerves. They're the big ones.
They're the big ones. A couple of ones I really wanted to touch on super quick before we wrap this episode up was just on race day, really trying to focus on your fueling and nutrition. So trying not to miss those gels, have that gel at the start line and then making sure that you are having the gels at the right time. If you want to set that, reminder on your watch that you can do every 30 minutes or whatever it might be. Just really focusing on, yes, heart rate and all these things are super important, but the minute you start slacking on having gels and having water and getting those things in, that will affect your race as well. So prioritize that.
Yeah, fuel early and often.
Fuel early and fuel often, because the minute you start missing one and then you miss two and then you're like, oh my God, it's been an hour and 15 minutes and I haven't had any fueling.
Mm-hmm.
Not good.
Not good. Speaking of fueling, guys, well, I haven't even run this past Georgia, but I don't care. I run this show now.
Gets a second podcast and thinks he owns the world. All right. What do you got?
The Friday before the marathon, whatever date that is, this Friday. Bam Bam Bakery, something on the Gold Coast, 9:30 a.m. TPP shakeout run. Anyone who listens to Beyond the Finish Line, you're welcome to come down. Coffee's on us, unless there's a whole bunch of you that rock up, then it's not on us. 200 people rock up like shit.
We need red wristbands for the Performance Project athletes and everyone else. Well, sorry.
Yeah, but anyone who wants to come down, we'll do like a 30-minute shakeout run, coffees afterwards. We've got a whole bunch of tables booked, and then we're heading to the expo at like 11. So if anyone wants to come down, if you're there by yourself, you want some friends, come on down. If you listen to the podcast, you want to come say good day. Obviously, Georgia won't be there, but I will. And so will the rest of the TPP crew. So you're more than welcome to come down. Yeah, that's all I got.
Do you want to just repeat that really quickly? That what day, what time, where?
Friday. Oh, hold on. Is it Bam Bam? What is it? Bam Bam something.
It is Bam Bam.
How many Bam Bams are there? Surely there's not that many.
It's not. It's one. I think it's in Mermaid Waters. No.
Is it Eatery?
Did I make that up?
Yeah, something like that.
Fuck, listen to us. We're like, oh God, we forgot. Bam Bam Bakehouse in Mermaid Beach.
Don't say it properly. Yeah, Bakehouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Mermaid Beach, guys.
9:30 a.m. Yep. 9:15 for a 9:30 start. Coffee's starting at 10. Then we're going to the expo at 11. You're all welcome. And yeah, coffees are on us unless a shitload of you rock up, and then they are not on us.
Coffee's on us, don't worry.
George is like, give me that card.
That's the Friday. I was like, come on, don't be a stinge. And that's on the Friday, guys. And just like we said before, don't go to the expo on the Saturday. You're going on the Friday. So if you need, if you want to chat to Matt, you can feel free to FaceTime me. I can be there in spirit. But it'll be fun.
Maybe Meg will do that.
Meg might.
Yeah.
But yeah, head down. That'll be really fun. Is it 5K, Matt, that you guys are doing roughly?
We'll just do 20, 25 minutes. Nothing too crazy.
Fab. So it won't be 5K. So that's great.
No.
Go and enjoy that, guys. And catch up with Matt. And unfortunately, sad for you guys, I won't be there. So, next time.
But for Sydney
I'll be there
Marathon,
for Sydney.
Yeah.
I won't, I'll be running. We'll see. Okay. Well, that is, I think, everything. I think you should be pretty well sorted for the marathon, guys. Don't stress. We have you covered. This will be perfect for your next race. So thank you so much for listening to episode 73 of Beyond the Finish Line. If you're not already following us, head over to Instagram and follow us at beyondthefinishline_pod. Head over to wherever you get your podcast, like, subscribe, download, leave us a review. Super helpful. And if you'd like to be coached by the Performance Project, head over to performanceproject.com.au. Fill out the form. All the info is there that you need to know about coaching with Matt or one of our other coaches. And we would love to have you part of the team so that you can enjoy all of our fun things we get to do together. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great week.
Hooroo.
Bye.